Hello and a warm welcome to all of you on another episode of the Pep Talk with me, Sudeep Nag. Today, I'm here to discuss a very important topic which may help many of you, particularly who are dealing with sales in various sectors, and especially if you are in banking sector. Sales lead generation to conversion. So, you must have heard about the importance of conversion of leads and generation of leads. So here it is, an opportunity to just understand the process a little more through this video. So building the funnel from suspect to buyer and mastering cold, warm, and hot segments. So today, what overall we are going to discuss, let us have at a glance. Understanding lead generation, sources, channels, and how suspects enter your pipeline. The sales funnel itself, the journey from suspect to prospect to a buyer. Lead generation, what is cold lead, warm lead, hot lead, and how to tell them apart and how to deal in different scenarios. Approaching strategies and what to say and do at each, sort of lead that you uh, get. Conversion techniques, moving leads down the funnel, like there is a process step by step, and then conversion into the buyer, and how to do that through various role plays and activities. So, what is lead generation? As you may already know, but let me just give you the definition again: the process where you identify and attract individuals or organizations. Why? Because if it's a B2B or a B2C, depends on that. Who show interest in your product or services? Turning strangers who have never interacted with you or never met you, or you didn't even know that you will be getting a call. Turning these, calls into potential customers. So, as you know, that it's also a process as from a stranger to a buyer. There is you can already understand that what all the process might be. So, inbound digital websites, SEO, content, social media, webinar. That means from where you will generate the leads, how to generate the leads. Then outbound, cold outreach. So inbound is where you have already posted, on various platforms and people are calling. Outbound is where you call it. This is where people are a little circumspect, where outbound and cold calling, because you are calling people, they may be busy, they are not expecting the call. So how that, that is something really people just avoid that. But that is also, remember, part of lead generation and this entire funnel where not even a stranger, that is unexpected strangers. That sort of uh, takes a lot to build that relationship and referrals and networks. So this is much easier where you know you are being referred, you are expecting a call. So there is a difference between the three, and sometimes we don't understand that there is a difference. So that could create how we mentally go forward in each scenario, how we communicate and all that. Events and networking and trade shows, conferences. Of course, if at a mass media platform, if you do the sort of like a you know launch of something or shows and all that, like event, then obviously you will attract a lot of eyeballs towards your products and services and brand and etc. So paid advertisement, that there are hard copies and soft copies and online and offline. So paid advertising definitely like in newspapers, magazines. So people do that traditional way. And now the new age ways. Database and CRM mind. Now again softwares are there to, you know, make this process like a catalyst. Now this funnel is important, like I said, where a suspect that unqualified, you know, you don't know that person, but there is sort of first time contact or no contact, and that is a suspect, or you got a call, or you've called up, and converting into a prospect, like identifying whether their need and your product matches, whether you can solve the problems through your services, products, etc. Then it becomes a lead where you start engaging, where you get response, where your brochures are being downloaded, you are being asked questions. So when people again are asked questions, clarification, doubts, people may not like at times, but that is also a good sign where these are leads. That's why they're asking the questions. So qualified leads need budget, authority, control. So then it talks about the budget and all. Once it is, sort of understood, all the doubts are clear, then comes the budget and all that. And then opportunity where this next part of the funnel is active proposals, negotiations, pricing is being talked about. And then finally they're ready to buy, they are buying, and the deal is closed and the customer is paying for it. Simple as that. So this is the funnel right now. If you go back to the suspect and to the buyer, so there is this process, and you can very well understand that these are very interesting processes where there is a lot of psychology involved, a lot of communication, behavioral aspects involved. That is the skill part. So what happens at each funnel stages, as you already said, from suspect, old database to market fit, no engagement yet. Prospect where first contact is made, outreach is sent, awaiting response. Lead is where shows interest, response is there, question answers are going on, doubt clearing. Lead qualified is that budget, authority, everything has been confirmed and you have understood that they have also understood that product is good for us and opportunity, active deal, and definitely proposals are being shared and negotiation are underway, pricing is talked about, and then finally the promise to buy and sort of confirmation mail, and then the contract is signed and the product is sort of sold out. And then cold, warm, and hot leads. Like I said, the temperature part, like cold, as you see, it's cold. Like you are calling, there is no response, no interest, much interest at all, or sort of probably just casual talks, and that's not really maturing into, or they're not asking for any information also. So that is a cold lead. Now, from warm lead, it can become cold lead, and from cold lead, it can become warm. This also happens. So warm lead now some show some interest. Of course, if the interest dies, then it becomes cold, and then there's gone backwards to the funnel. So it's become again a stranger. But warm lead is where shows interest, engages with sort of questions and doubts and information sharing, educating the customer, and need-based sort of relationship building, trust building is going on. And then hot lead is where that's really active engagement calls are coming in. They are very much interested and sort of there is a possibility and there is a you can see that there is going to be a sale, and that is a pulse that both parties understand. Cold lead, how to approach. Now, in terms of cold lead has not engaged with you before, as something that is absolutely new. Urgency is not there, so definitely they may have other options they are seeing. So there's so many things are there, but definitely it's not urgent. So then what happens is how to reach is lead with value, not pitch like a sales call, just keep them informed, say uphold the value and all that. Keep it short and talk about small things, not like a proper commitment. Use multiple sort of follow-ups at times after a long period. Maybe. Then you talk about warm leads is where they have engaged and sort of there is a conversation going on, but not at that level where they're sort of understanding the brand and all. Here the approach is that you reference their topic of the past engagement and topic that we had spoken before and offer some case studies, demo, social proof, some other customer numbers where they can call, ask qualifying questions like whether it matches or not, how it will help them, etc., just to make them understand. Then come this is the hot lead that is they're ready to buy. Sort of this is the product that definitely they have asked for the demo, so give them the demo, the proposal, confirm the budget, authority, timeline, etc. And then response should be nice and fast, and then respond immediately. Speed wins. I mean, this where the speed wins the deal at times, and address objections wherever it is immediately and confidently. So these are where you are already verge of conversion. So here you can see that how the things move in. Engagement is cold is none, warm some, and in hot is high. Trust is low, obviously in cold, medium, high. Urgency in cold lead is low, medium, high. Best channel is email and all is okay, but phone call in terms of warm lead and person in person or phone is good. Goal of contact is spark curiosity. Cold lead is to just spark the curiosity, qualify the need and close the deal. And follow-up pace is slow because they're not urgent, so let's not push and spoil the relationship. And here, in warm leads, it's steady and weekly and sometimes. And here it's immediate and fast. So simple lead scoring framework is a need, budget, authority, and timeline. So what is the need? Is it urgent or not? Is it going to solve their issue or not? What is the budget like? Is it fit into their budget or not? Authority, who is the right person to close the deal? And then the timeline and by when they would like the response or when would they like to buy it. So conversion is, as I said, from cold to warm is where you need to look at. From warm to hot and hot to buyer. So it should not go backwards that when they are in a position to buy, then they become warm and then slowly become cold. That means there something is not right. So cold to warm is educational content, value. This is the cold still, light, consistent follow-up, social proof, etc. Then it becomes warm, personalized demos addressing the needs, case studies from similar customers, create urgency, and then hot leads is specify the decision, final decision, handle objections with confidence, fast, frictionless paperwork, so that the lead is converted into a buy. And this is important is where you understand the conversion ratio. So right in the funnel, you might get say 100, but how much is your conversion? So conversion lead is a number of, say in banking sector, let's say how many customers you have spoken to, right from their suspect to prospect and then converting them into leads. And then the buyer. Basically, there's a banking product. Now, conversion ratio is nothing but number of loans you have disbursed divided by the total number of leads generated into 100. Example is that you suppose you have generated 200 leads this month and you have disbursed 24 loans. What is the conversion ratio? Your conversion rate that is 24 divided by 200 into 100 is 12%. So in all sales sector, this is not only banking sector, any sales sector, you have to try first of all to increase the conversion ratio. Conversion ratio at each funnel is that lead, qualified lead, then from qualified lead to people who are applicants and have logged in, and then from there things are being sanctioned, like in the banking sector, loans are being sanctioned and sanctions are being disbursed to them. That's where they finally become the customers. Common mistakes people make actually that we get confused and we take everything the same. So treating all the leads as same, talking to them in the same way, you have to psychologically understand the types of leads and what you need to do at that time. And slow response in hot leads, how will it help? No follow-up system, will it help? Again, it will go backwards. And pitching before listening, again, you've just now spoken is just a suspect and you are talking about closing. That's pushing too much, ignoring lead scoring and losing touch after a month. So it's not that they are not ready to buy now. Maybe it's not urgent, but they may buy later. So that's how you need to carry. As I said, how to do it, practice all this. You can practice all this in terms of some case studies, role plays, so scenarios. Okay, like take a cold lead, how to deal with it, warm lead, how to deal with it, and hot lead, how to deal. So key takeaways from today's session is every buyer starts as a suspect, as you saw, and then what is hot lead, what is cold lead, what is warm lead, and how to move towards making them into a buyer, closing the deals. Before that, you need to understand that whether it matches the budget, authority, timeline, and speed matters in, in particularly dealing at different types of lead in different way. And a no right now does not mean that the product won't be required by the particular customer. You can follow this pattern and then you can generate the business account. And don't forget the conversion ratio is important. Thank you so much. I hope you have liked our session today. If you have any doubts, any questions, definitely you can message or you can call up this number. And I hope to see you in our next episode of the Pep Talk. Have a great day ahead.